GmbF Global is a business networking organization. I'm now going to invite Oren Hendricks, GmbF Global Executive Committee member, to welcome all of us.
Namaskar, I am Oren Hendricks, Organizing Secretary and Industry Coordination, GmbF Global. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to this live session with Union Cabinet Minister of Road, Transport and Highways and Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Honorable Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. COVID has changed the world and we have to explore ways to tackle what we call the new normal. We have the Honorable Minister with us today to share these thoughts on opportunities in India and Maharashtra in the current business environment and the post-COVID scenario. GmbF Global is extremely happy to organize this session in collaboration with the following respected business and social organizations: Maharashtra Mandal, Dubai; Maharashtra Mandal, Abu Dhabi; GmbF Bahrain Chapter, Maharashtra Mandal, Bahrain; Muscat Marathi Mitra Mandal, Oman; Sneha Band Sohar, Oman; Maharashtra Mandal, Kuwait; Maharashtra Mandal, Qatar; Marathi Global Village, Toronto, Canada. I invite Rahul Tulpureji, Vice President of GmbF Global, to speak about GmbF contribution and initiatives in the current situation. Rahul has been instrumental in facilitating the repatriation of stranded Maharashtrians and Indians from Dubai. Over to you, Rahulji.
Thank you, Oren. Good morning to everybody. Like Oren said, truly we have been living in an unprecedented time. March, April, May, almost a lockdown, and everything was at a standstill. But our office at GmbF was completely opposite. And in fact, the activities at GmbF had almost quadrupled of our normal routine. Just to highlight a few things that we've been up to in the last 2 to 3 months. In line with our main objectives and goals, we continued our monthly programs. The frequency was almost increased to double. We conducted 6 to 7 webinars, still keeping connected with all the members and giving them the support through our expert network. Topics that were covered include COVID awareness through specialized doctors, stress management. We also had a great session on banking sector support for the SMEs and several other related topics which are important for the business community here. But the times are very unique and the challenges faced by the people were also grave. So that's where GmbF actually took the lead to activate our community responsibility in a big way. So 2 weeks ago, there was a one-of-a-kind Facebook Live event that was curated, especially by a specialist director, Dr. Santosh Manjrekar. This was done in honor of all the COVID warriors who have been out there in the front line and helping everybody cope up with this situation. The event was extremely successful. It was joined in by almost 22 countries and around 16,000 people actually viewed the event. We had around 30 artists, very famous artists who actually joined the cause and voluntarily agreed to be part of it, making this event a great success. In this event, we also partnered with a very acclaimed social organization called Project Mumbai, who has been in the forefront for actually executing this help to the real frontline people. Through Project Mumbai, we were able to make sure that the help and the funds raised through our all the supporters of this event is reaching to the grassroots level where these COVID warriors are actually extending their support. On the UAE front, every team member has been very actively in touch with the community and helping each of the needy part of this community with various things like paying rent for the people who are not able to afford that, passing on medicinal support, passing on food support, and so many other things that will give some kind of relief to the people here till some more permanent solution is arrived at. And last but not the least, GmbF has been instrumental in arranging a historic first 2 charter flights going out of Dubai, which will be flying this weekend. And this was done basically to ensure that at least the top priority critical cases of medical emergencies, pregnancies, senior citizens, students, those with deaths in the family are able to be repatriated back to our home state. really want to appreciate the support of every team member who has been very active in the last 3 months. Like I said, working almost 2 to 3 times for GmbF than we usually spend our time. And together, I hope we are able to make some difference. Over to you, CJ.
Congratulations to Team GmbF Global and all the support organizations who have been supporting us during these initiatives. GmbF Global is a business networking organization, and as our objectives drive, we create networking opportunities, mentoring opportunities. Mahabiz is one of our greatest events that we've been conducting every 3 years. And in the past few years, we have realized that business and social, they go hand in hand. So we work very, very closely with organizations such as Maharashtra Mandal Dubai, who have maybe social and cultural activities as their primary agenda, and GmbF may have a business as their primary agenda. As they say that earlier, there was an era of competition, it moved to collaboration, and it's actually moving towards co-creation. I think business and social, both the organizations are coming together and co-creating new opportunities for all of their members. And I think it's important. Business and social, they go hand in hand. Businesses require social interaction, cultural interaction, and social and cultural organizations require business supports. So I think we have successfully implemented in Dubai, and I'm going to invite different support organizations that we have today to share their views on and what they are doing in their respective countries to create this co-creation that is the new trend. So I'm going to start with GmbF Global Bahrain chapter. Abhijit ji, would you want to speak about it?
Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Abhijit Igave. I'm looking after Gulf Maharashtra Business Forum Global Bahrain chapter. Bahrain is a strategic location. It has a road connectivity, largest market like Saudi Arabia. So we are helping local businessmen here as well as the businessmen from India who are interested to invest in Bahrain as well as in Saudi. So we are just trying to fill the gap between the businessmen from the state of Maharashtra and the businessmen from the Bahrain.
We have Mr. Suhas Kerurkar of Ami Parivar.
Hello, this is Suhas Kerurkar. I represent Akhil Amirati Marathi Indian. AMI is a social body which has started 4 years back in UAE as a small WhatsApp group, and now it is across the 6 GCC countries with 7,000 plus members in a family. Basically, we help each other as part of AMI to all Marathi people, and on top of that, we also look out for the jobs availability, job information, and learning curve. So overall, if you see anyone who is coming to UAE, Ami Parivar is definitely a helping hand for them once they are in UAE or GCC. Thank you.
We have Maharashtra Mandal Kuwait representation. We have anyone from Maharashtra Mandal Kuwait?
Namaskar. I'm Raghav Sadekar, representing Maharashtra Mandal Kuwait. On behalf of them, I would just like to congratulate GmbF for their initiatives. We in Kuwait have been focused for so many years on cultural activities mainly. And I'm happy to see that during this crisis, all the Maharashtra mandals in the region have come together and we are striving for a goal. Personally, I have been in touch with GmbF initiatives very recently on the initiatives of Mr. Rahul Gokhale. I would like to thank him for bringing us in together with you on the same platform. And I assure you that all our team members and in Kuwait will work very proactively in bringing the entrepreneurs from Maharashtra as well as bringing the Kuwait opportunities to the region. Thank you.
Representatives of Canada Marathi Global Village. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Mridula, and I have started Marathi Global Village as a global village. It's a Vishwagram, so I'm trying to connect all Marathi over the globe. So I'm really glad to, attend your meetings and what's going on because I have some business background also back in Nagpur. I published the industry directory of Vidarbha, which contains the industries from Vidarbha and Central India. I have one unit in Butibori also, and I know the problems those are there in Maharashtra industrial areas and for sick units and for the small scale industries. What are the main problems for small scale industries? So I know that since I have a sick unit in Bhutpuri. That's it. Thank you.
Do we have a representation from Maharashtra Mandal Dubai?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sandeep Gupte. I am the current president of Dubai Maharashtra Mandal. Dubai Maharashtra Mandal is in the sphere of cultural and social activities since almost last 47 years. One of the oldest such organization in this region and might be in the world. And we are very proud to be associated with GMBF since the inception of GMBF. Most of the GMBF members are members of Maharashtra Mandal also. And as Chirantan said in the beginning, this is a synergic effect. The cultural and social activities as well as the business people, we go hand in hand together. It's a classic example of Marathi Manus helping each other in this region. Personally, I work for an organization, I work for a business, but once Dr. Manjrekar gave me the idea that even if you don't have your own business, you are working for somebody else's business. So it makes sense to be part of the GMBF. So I really welcome these initiatives by GMBF and wish them all the best.
Kunal from Maharashtra Mandal Abu Dhabi has joined in.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Kunal, President of Maharashtra Mandal Abu Dhabi. Glad to be part of this particular session. Expecting it to be quite insightful, especially in current times, wherein there's a bit of uncertainty everywhere around. So I think hoping the session should be good for everyone. Thanks.
Vivek, I have seen just on Facebook, we have someone, he is from the dairy manufacturer segment. So in the GCC, it's quite interesting. Can you share with audience as a GMBF, how many industry verticals our members represent?
Sure. We have about 400 active members, and out of which, happy to share that totally we represent more than 65 verticals. We have doctors, lawyers, industry, manufacturers, we have traders, and we have a specialist people, like say, for example, we have a contracting companies in various factors, we have in interior decoration, we have oil and energy. So, virtually we have a mix of about 65 streams merging together in GMBF Global.
I request Dr. Sunil Mandrekar, GMBF Global President, to please welcome our Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari ji.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Good morning, all of you. On behalf of Gulf Maharashtra Business Forum Global, I, Dr. Sunil Vinayak Manjrekar, President GMBF Global, would like to welcome our Honorable Cabinet Minister Sri Nitin Gadkari ji and thank him for accepting our invitation to guide us on emerging opportunities in India, Maharashtra in current pandemic COVID crisis. We also welcome all business tycoons from UAE and GCC countries who are present here today. We welcome all Maharashtra social and business associations from GCC countries, Canada, Mauritius, and other participating countries. GMBF Global is a business forum operating in UAE since last 1 decade, having its presence in almost 10 different countries. GMBF Global is the bridge for connecting businesses in Maharashtra, India, GCC countries, MENA region, and other part of the world. During this pandemic situation, we are proud GMBF Global played major role in corporate social responsibility. Our entire team is working very hard on ground since last 3-4 months to support stranded poor laborers in UAE who are suffering due to COVID-19 crisis in UAE. Our Rahul Turpale, Vice President GMBF Global, worked very hard along with Indian Consulate Dubai to get permission for chartered flight to Mumbai and Pune for lifting stranded Maharashtrians in UAE. We thank Vipulji, the Consul General of Dubai, for supporting us. Also, we thanks the support from the Maharashtra government as well as the support given by the central government of India for granting DGCA permission. Our last month event, this event supported many COVID workers in Mumbai. I will not take your more time, sir, as all of you are waiting to listen valuable advice from you, sir. So now I request Honorable Minister to address the gathering. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Maharashtra. Over to you, sir.
All dear friends from Dubai. First of all, I am giving my all best wishes to all of you. And God bless you because we are all suffering from coronavirus. Although in the whole world is facing this problem. I am sure that you are all safe. Regarding our economy, we have already Prime Minister declared the package of 20 lakh crores. In Indian GDP, the 29% of the growth is coming from MSME. And total export is now 48% of Indian export is from MSME. And up till now, MSME at least create 11 crore jobs. But now we have taken decision to change the definition of MSME. It is a great revolutionary change. Previously, the manufacturing sector and service sector, the classification was differently, classification was there. But now in a new policy, we make it composite. Its classification is manufacturing and services. It's the one sector. At that time, previously in micro, the criteria was that investment means investment in plant, machinery and equipment was 25 lakh rupees. Now we have increased the limit up to 1 crore and the turnover was 10 lakh. Now a turnover is coming 5 crore. For the small industries, the investment, that is a investment in plant and machinery or equipment was 5 crore and turnover was 2 crore. Now in small, the new criteria, the investment 10 crore and turnover is 50 crore. At the same time, in the medium industry, the investment was rupees 10 crore. Now it coming to 50 crores and turnover 5 crore. It comes to 250 crores. And export is excluded from all the three criteria. So the majority industry now they will get the benefit of MSME, and it is really a golden opportunity for MSME now to take the advantage of this policy. Now in Indian economy, we have also taken a lot of decision regarding up to turnover, the term loan of 25 crore and turnover up to 100 crore. That MSME get 20% collateral free additional loan over their existing limits. And the 3 lakh crore provision is now given by Reserve Bank target to it. And so the 45 lakhs MSME will get benefit from it. The subordinate debt fund of 20,000 crore, that is for present policy, those MSMEs, it is difficult for the bank to restructure them. In that case, we will take the equity of in the proprietors, the proprietor who is the proprietor of the MSME, we will support him by giving equity from the government. So then after that, it will be easy for the bank to restructure the MSME. So 2 lakh MSME will be benefited from this and 45 lakh MSME will be benefited from that 3 lakh crores of additional collateral free loan. The most important, the third point is very much related with you, which is a very advantageous point. That is fund of fund. 10,000 crore, which will combine with other funds to create a fund of rupees 50,000 crore equity infusion in fast growing high potential MSMEs. So now you know the system of stock exchange. In Indian economic situation compared with the world, the insurance economy, the pension economy, the share economy is not increased as much we are expecting. So now this is the opportunity for the investor that first of all, those MSME who have good track record, that is good export, good turnover in bank, good income tax and GST record, we will give them rating and such type of good quality AAA to good rating MSME. where we will at least 15% of equity will be given by government to them, and after that they will approach to uh, stock exchange, and where idea is of making of MSME stock exchange. In a stock exchange, there will be a part which is will be MSME stock exchange, and where the common people, even investor, even the foreign investor can invest money in MSME. Lot of MSMEs are doing very marvelous job. They have good export, good profits they are making. So even this is the opportunity for NRIs and FDI and the foreign insurance pension fund that they can invest in MSME. And now the definition is already changed. So you can get the balance sheet and turnover, GST record, everything. And after their rating, it can be possible for you to invest your money in that MSME, and that can be a golden opportunity for investment. At the same time, we now planning to make a e-marketplace for MSME like Alibaba and Amazon. So now we are working on it. Because of this period now, we are not in position to launch that site, but we will make it as early as possible. The all PSUs, the government dues, the central government has taken decision that whatever the dues from MSME in government ministries and government public undertaking, central government, within 45 days, we will give them their money back. At the same time, I already requested to state government chief ministers regarding this issue, and I also requested them to issue the fund of all ministries of state government and public undertaking. At the same time, the private sector also, I have got a lot of interaction with the private sector. In this 1.5 month, I have already interacted more than 115 institutions, and at least 15 crore people. I got effort to connect them. So all of that major industry, I requested them that as early as possible, please issue the funds which are related with MSMEs. Government has also some giving concession to EPF support extended up to August 2020. The salary up to 2,500. That salary people will get benefit. That is 72 lakh employees will be benefited, and estimated 3 lakh 67,000 units will be benefited. EPF contribution reduced to 10% for 3 months, and liquid support of rupees 6,759 crore to them. So most important thing is now government has giving special priority to strengthen NBFCs. And I suggest them, because we need to change some rules and regulation also, that NBFC, whether they will get good NBFC, get foreign investment, it can be a good thing. At the same time, in Indian scenario, there is an opportunity for investment in major industry, opportunity of investment in MSME, and opportunity of investment where we are planning to make the policy where you can invest in NBFC. At the same time, there is an opportunity for investment in infrastructure. The Indian infrastructure story is very successful, particularly last 5 years when I was Minister for Shipping, Ports, Namami Ganga and road sector. At that time, we have already awarded works more than 17 lakh crores in Water Resources Ministry, Shipping, Ports, Inland Waterways and road sector. I'm giving you example of shipping. We have 12 major ports. All are in good profits. The 7,000 profits we are getting from it. At the same time, the most important thing is that our budget was of only 800 crore. So 5 years, it comes to 4,000 crore. But in Sagarmala, we have taken projects of 16 lakh crores, and out of which 6 lakh 50,000 crore projects have already now completed. So the way in which the foreign investment, FDI, is already coming there. The Dubai port has also invested big amount in JNPT. Already they have got a huge investment there. So my suggestion is now, even the road sector, it is a success story. Presently, our toll income is 28,000 crore for this year. We are suffering some losses because of this period. But I am confident at the end of this year, it will go up to 40,000 crore. And within 5 years, my target is we will take this income to 1 lakh crore per year. Now we are planning to establish a petrol pump, roadside amenities. Then we are making roadside logistic parks, smart cities, smart villages, industrial clusters. And there is a huge opportunity for investment. Now I'm giving an example that we are making Mumbai-Delhi Express Highway, the Green Express Highway, that starts from Sona, the place which is very near to Gurgaon, near to Delhi, from Sona to Savai Madhopur, Alwar, then going to Jhabua, Ratlam, going to Vadodara to Mumbai. This is totally a new alignment. It is from the tribal and backward area of Rajasthan, Haryana, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. Now the present alignment is Delhi, Ahmedabad, Surat, Vadodara, Mumbai. But this is very developed area. In place of that, we have taken decision to make it a green alignment. We are already reduced distance of 220 kilometers between Delhi to Mumbai, and we save 16,000 crore on land acquisition, because the land acquisition cost in this area is 10 to 20 lakhs rupees per acre. And as compared with near to Ahmedabad, Surat, and Vadodara, near this alignment, the Mumbai-Delhi alignment, the land cost is more than 2 to 3 crore per acre. So we have a lot of saving there. Now the land is available. We are also acquiring the land, and we are giving proposal for making of smart cities, smart villages, industrial clusters. Now you take the example, our leather industry. Our turnover is total 1,45,000 crore, out of which 85,000 crore is a domestic market, and 45 to 55,000 crore is the market, export market. So I suggest them in Dharavi, we have 1,50,000 people who are working on leather industry. The situation is very bad. The same situation in Agra also. So I suggest them, I will give land, and with joint venture, we can develop a smart industrial cluster there. You will get connectivity to airport, railway station, ports, by national highway. That will be my responsibility. And by joint venture, we can make all type of water, power, transport, and communication. And we can sell the plots. We can make township there. In Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, either rental system or both the scheme, we can make the good township there, and we can make educational institutions, grounds, everything, hotels, restaurants, all type of area. We can develop a smart city or smart village there. So now on this line we are working. There is a huge opportunity for investment. Those associations or private people who are ready to come in a joint venture with NHI, NHI will acquire the land, and we will make the arrangement by which we can develop the project, and that can be definitely going to be a good success story. This type of 22 green express highway we are making. In Mumbai, Delhi, already we have awarded 32 packages out of 62 packages, and land acquisition is completed, and within 3 years we will complete this road. We are going to complete Delhi Meerut Express Highway. That is the Green Express Highway. Presently, it takes from Meerut to Delhi 4.5 hours. But after 6 months, it will be only 45 to 50 minutes. You can come to Delhi. Then we are making Delhi Amritsar Katra, big highway. Already land acquisition is started. We are making Chennai Bangalore Express Highway. Lot of highways were Hyderabad Bangalore Highway, Hyderabad Nagpur Highway. Lot of highways we are working. The Green Express Highway. And I am confident that there is a huge potential is available by which we can develop different type of roadside amenities. At the same time, we can make logistic park, we can make bus ports, then we can make industrial clusters, smart city, and smart villages. So there is a huge opportunity available. The other important sector is very important from your point of view, that particularly the hill area, that is Arunachal, Meghalaya, Tripura, Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh. Some part of the country, you know that there are mountain areas there. So now we are planning to make a public transport on electricity, ropeway, cable car, vernacular railway, then mass rapid transport system on electricity. So there is a huge potential. I'm just giving you an idea. In Nagpur, we are making broad gauge metro. What is the broad gauge metro? That is, we are going to connect from Bandera to Gondia via Nagpur, then Gondia to Chandrapur via Nagpur, then Chandrapur to Narkhed via Nagpur, and Narkhed to Vadsa via Nagpur. 4 broad gauge already lines are there. Signal system is there. Now I'm giving an example from presently. The passenger speed is 40 km per hour. The express speed is 60 km per hour. And the broad gauge metro speed is 120 km per hour. Now Wardha to Nagpur, it is taking 1 hour 10 minutes. Now within 35 minutes, by this broad gauge metro, you can come from Wardha to Nagpur. So this can be a new area where we can develop. And now the logistic cost, the cost of construction for the standard gauge metro, which is in Nagpur, is 350 crore per kilometer. But by using all this existing signal system, all rail network, stations, the cost for broad gauge metro is only 5 crore rupees per kilometer. So now this will be a 4 rolling stock. There will be there with the air condition and with the high speed of 120 kilometer. So we are already planning to start factory near Nagpur. So this can be a golden opportunity. We can connect Delhi to Jaipur. We can connect Pune to Solapur, Pune to Kolhapur, Pune to Nagar. We can connect Delhi to Chandigarh, Delhi to Jalandhar, Delhi to Chandigarh, Jalandhar. Then we can go up to Jaipur, then Saharanpur, then up to Mathura. So we can make this type of road, this broad gauge metro network, which can be economically viable and very useful for the transport. And economic viability is there and the capital cost is very less. So now the basic thing in Indian economy is, this is the time for all of us to create more, to increase more liquidity in the market. Presently, our GDP is of 200 lakh crores. But now the problem is that out of which 10% we have declared the package, that is 20 lakh crores. Then we have actually in budget deficit, we are expecting in state government and central government, that is of 10 lakh crore. So it comes to 30 lakh crore. So presently, by adding infrastructure, public-private investment in infrastructure, public-private investment in industry, that is very important for India. Without liquidity, we cannot increase purchasing power. And without purchasing power, we cannot increase demand and supply. And without demand and supply, we cannot get capital investment. And without that, we cannot create more employment potential and adding in our growth. So the most important thing for India is now to increase liquidity in the market. And that is the reason that there are golden opportunity that we can increase our export. I'm giving you an example. In Nagpur, we have an MSME textile cluster named as Orange City Cluster. They are manufacturing, they are making shirts. The 18 partners are there with the cooperation of Government of India, MSME. They are starting this textile cluster in Nagpur. Actually, now they are making these PP kits. And fortunately, 2 months before, we have imported PP kits from China. But today in India, good quality of PP kits we are making in MSMEs. The number is 5 lakhs PP kit per day. So now government has given permission to export PP kit. I am telling you the story of sanitizer. I requested a majority sugar mill in India to start the manufacturing of sanitizer. Once upon a time when the lockdown started, the sanitizer raise was 1200 crore. But now different type of sanitizer in the market and rate is coming to 200 rupees per liter. Somewhere it is 160 rupees per liter on large scale. So immediately it is the capability of Indian industry. They can make import substitute. So basic policy is how we are going to reduce our import and how we are going to increase our export. And that is the most important thing for Indian economy. Actually, I'm already decided. Now I'm going to declare one report, one book on 3 years of export and 3 years of import. So now we are taking lot of decisions. The things which are already imported in India, we are trying to increase duty on that. And our vision is that how we can encourage Indian entrepreneurs, Indian industry for making more export. Today, you know the world economic situation. The China is one of the super economic power, but the way in which the atmosphere is changed, now the lot of country in the whole world, they don't want to deal with China. So this is the golden opportunity for India. We have got a big young population, skilled manpower, engineering manpower. At the same time, we have got availability of raw material, and also we have got all type of potential that we can meet the goods of international standard. So now the two important thing which our industry need is upgradation of technology, and the second thing is getting more foreign capital for the industry. That is, two things are important because we need to reduce logistic cost, capital cost, power cost, labor cost. Without that, we cannot be competitive in international market. So today we are working on that line, and our most important priority is to develop agriculture, rural, tribal, and particularly 115 backward district, which are socially, economically, educationally backward. So now I'm giving an example of blue economy. Presently, we have sweet water blue economy and salt water blue economy. Actually, our turnover, our total volume of this industry is 1 lakh crore. So what is the constraint? Actually, constraint is our boats which are available for fishermen. They are only going up to 7 nautical miles. But when I was shipping minister, we have got the trawler where they can go up to 100 nautical miles. We have already given 100 trawler to Tamil Nadu government because our fishermen, where the border of Sri Lanka is very nearer to Tamil Nadu, and they every time for fishing enter into the border of Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka. So now we have given them trawler. Now they go into the deep sea, going up to 100 nautical miles, and by which this scheme government has given 20,000 crore in the package. So idea is giving trawler to the fisherman. The 5 to 6 or 10 fishermen, just like a farmer, there are farmer produce companies. On the same line, we are trying to make this fisherman fish produce company, and we 5 lakhs rupees from 5 people, their equity will be 25 lakhs. We will give them loan of 1 crore and giving that trawler, and they can increase their production by 6 times, 7 times, which is going to create more export potential, packaging, processing capacity in India, and it can be a really economically viable industry. So the in which we are now working on biofuel. Now we are allowing it making ethanol from rice cut. We are making ethanol from corn. Our ethanol economy is 20,000 crore, and we want to make it within 2-3 years by economy of 1 lakh crore. So it is going to helpful for the farmers, and we are going to plan agro MSME in the village area. We can start it. So we now giving more concentration on handloom, handicraft, lot of things. I am showing you this watch. This is from Titan, and the belt is from Khadi. And the cost of this watch is 5,000 crore. Ladies and gents, both models are different. And when we launch this watch in market, within a month, the watch is now out of market. So demand is there. So in different field, now we have this Khadi denim. Now the Levi's is the company, USA company, they are taking all this Khadi denim for making jeans pant. So now the idea is we will increase the already funding for honey 10 times more. So bamboo, then making of handloom, handicrafts, our village industries turnover is 88,000 crore. So idea is within 2 years, we want to make this turnover up to 5 lakh crores to create employment potential into rural, tribal, and urban area. We have successfully run these helicopters, defense helicopters and fighter jet with the help of bio aviation fuel from Jatropha oil. Now, one of the company in Pune, Praj Industry, those who have a good experience, having successful track record in the whole world, now they are successfully making aviation fuel and marine fuel from ethanol. So that is the future, that it is going to be an import substitute, cost effective, pollution free, and indigenous. Now we are making bio CNG from rice straw. So a lot of new option. We have already electric cars, electric buses, electric bikes. I already launched 2 bikes of one from Bajaj and one from TVS, electric bikes. We have got ethanol bikes, ethanol auto rickshaw. Now I also drive one hydrogen fuel cell car in Delhi by Toyota. So now the total scenario is changing. So in place of taking import, now we are planning is to make India a self-sufficient. That is the idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And that concept we are working fast. India has got a huge huge opportunities. Presently, the period is not good. We are facing a lot of problems. But I am confident that in due course of time, we will be in a good position. One of the foreign agency, 2 days before I read in paper, that they are rating that India will give up to 8 to 9% GDP within 2 years. So there is a huge potential. We are the fastest growing economy. The world economic situation is very favorable to us. The whole world is now, they want to change from China to go to find out some option. India is the best destination for that. And this is the time that we can create good export. We can increase export and we have got a lot of good potential. My suggestion to you, all of you, that Dubai is the really one of the important commercial city in the world, and where you have got connectivity to the whole world, and which is a golden opportunity for export and import. My suggestion is where you can be definitely be a good instrument to help Indian economy. At the same time, investment point of view, there are a lot of opportunities out there because the interest cost compare in Dubai and South Korea and Japan, in the European countries, the USA, the India, the returns are good. So this is the time that you can invest in India. India needs maximum foreign investment. We need to increase pension economy, insurance economy, and stock exchange share economy. We are now going MSME for stock exchange, and we are changing the policy supporting the particularly the industry. So situation is now is definitely there are a lot of good opportunities are there, and the role of you people particularly who are of Indian origin doing excellent job all over in the world. In Dubai also there is a lot of Indian population. I got opportunity to meet with the charter accountants, with the businessman industry. When I come to Dubai, my close friend Sanjay Paitankar is there, and many time with him I have already interacted with a lot of people, and I know that there is a huge potential. Next time when I will come to Dubai, definitely I will come there, and I will be happy to interact with you. And today, only 2 last thing which I want to appeal you, that presently we have a lot of negativity, frustration, fear. This is not good. We need positivity, we need self-confidence, and we need to strong political will, where we are going to win the war against coronavirus. At the same time, we will win this economic war. Now the whole world is facing this. This positivity and self-confidence is very important. I bring my all best wishes to you. In this period, you are fighting with corona, fighting with economy, and still you are going ahead. It is a great pride and pleasure for all Indians that you are doing good and excellent jobs. Once again, my all best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. This is Vivek Kolatkar from GMBF Global. It was a very insightful, reassuring, and positive address. You touched upon so many important aspects such as government support, MSME stock exchange, e-marketplace, investment opportunities for NRI, FDI, decongest, recreate, and create well-connected marketplace. That was something very, very interesting. And certainly it has touched hearts of many. Broad gauge metro, public-private cooperation, blue economy, biofuel, new trends in khadi and village industry. Oh my goodness, our bag is full. In fact, all of us from GMBF Global, as well as the participating organization across GCC and other foreign countries and senior business owners, we are extremely thankful to you. And as expected, it was an address fully innovative, positive, creative, and energy making. So once again, from all of us, sir, we would like to express our very, very sincere thanks from everybody. And surely we are with you, and all of us promise you that we will definitely make all the necessary promotion of various aspects that you have brought in. And most of, like, this is, of course, there is available in Facebook Live, but also it is going to be on GMBF Global Facebook page as well as on YouTube. And we have raised couple of points to you, but if there are many other points, then we will write to your respective offices, and then of course we are very sure that we will be getting good guidance from you. So once again, thank you very much from all of us to you, sir. And as we say, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Maharashtra. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We are always amazed at your command of figures and command of the entire macro situation. I was thinking, how do you decongest these cities? This is a major problem in India, that the lot of concentration in the cities like now NCR, which went to even Gurgaon. Gurgaon is over congested. Same way, if we just take the industry and the center of activity in different places nearer the capital or nearer the Bombay or nearer whatever other cities, that thing is small. That for the smaller projects of 50 crores, 100 crores, 200 crores, 300 crores, if there's a study done and a project report circulated to us, then people would be interested to invest into smaller projects from 50 crores to, let's say, 200, 300, 400 crores. Thank you.
Already we are giving priority for making of infrastructure. In my own ministry, we are planning to award at least projects cost more than 15 lakh crores within 2 years. That is the target. We have already got the credit line from foreign banks also. The foreign investment is also available. At the same time, I will request you to decongest big city is a very important thing. I am constantly repeating this thing. We are taking initiative. I am giving you example. This Green Express Highway Mumbai to Delhi going from Thane district. That is the tribal part of the Thane district. I requested Maharashtra government. There are 1,50,000 people working on leather industry in Dharavi. We can make a leather cluster there near Thane districts, and we can accommodate them there to make a smart city with housing, everything. And that can be a smart city. There will be jobs will be there, growth will be there, and sustainability will be there. At the same line in Gurgaon, everyone want to go to Gurgaon, everyone want to go to Noida, want to go to Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, or somewhere Bangalore. So this is not the situation. So we need to make some alternative for that. And now NHI is taking initiative. Roadside, after constructing road, the cost of land is increasing. So the way in which we are now acquiring the land before construction of road, and we are going for industrial cluster, smart city, smart villages. The problem is that in NHI we have projects at least more than 500 crore. We don't have small projects, but there is the idea of making bus port. Now bus port is already in Gujarat. There are 2-3 places the bus port are there. Just like airport, we are making bus port. There is a huge potential is there. So the people who are interested, they can get it. Even we can find out some model by which you can invest in NHI, because NHI is a AAA rating by world institution, is a strong financial base. So there is no any the 100% security is there. So somewhere we can find out some innovative model for investment for the small people also. But my feeling is going to these smart cities, smart villages, roadside. I am talking about one of the city. We are making this road Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, all season road. There is already just 4 days before I launch one tunnel. It's opening of one tunnel. Then we are making road for Manas Sarovar. Now there will be whole year. You can go up to Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, and Yamunotri, not only 6 months. Presently, it is only for 6 months. So we are making that road of 12,000 crore. So on that road, near Joshimath, there is a place Oli. And Oli is supposed to be best than Davos in Switzerland. So we can develop tourism is a great opportunity. You can develop tourism in the country by making resorts, hotels, ropeways, cable car, and all type of good accommodation will be there. Entertainment will be there. Water sport, adventure sports, everywhere there is a huge potential. So government is now opening all the thing for public-private investment. Now government understand the constraint. It is difficult for government to give budgetary support for all these things because there is lot of restriction and lot of constraint also because the money is limited available with the government. So where we can give opportunity to the private public investment, and the government is now opening all the sectors, and where the people who are interested in particular type of projects, I can be helpful for you to tell you which can be a good project for you. So you decide about it. There is a huge opportunity.
Our Administrator Mahesh wants us to say something. Mahesh?
One question.
Nitinji, thank you very much. I am from GMBF Global. We are connecting all the small and medium businesses in the Gulf, and we are basically trying to help them to connect with India. So my question to you is that what could be the possibility of connecting the MSMEs in India, or connecting MSMEs in Maharashtra to the Gulf MSMEs? So where we can have a real kind of a ecosystem where all these small companies can help each other, which can help India for exporting things out to the Gulf countries, and which can really help businesses.
We have got available some record with the ministry of all the MSMEs, but presently the answer is exactly it is not systemized. It is not technically. I don't know whether it be in position to make interview with you, but we are in the process now. When you come to Delhi, we will take our people and we will interact with them by your delegation, and we can think about it. This is a good suggestion.
Nitinji, as an NRI, can apply for MSME guaranteed loans.
Particularly in India, in the banking sector, I don't feel that bank will finance to a person who is NRI. But foreign banks can finance you there in India for that purpose, because already the presence of foreign banks are there. If your account is somewhere in the bank in Dubai, probably the bank may have their branch in Mumbai also. So it can be more easy for you.
One more question. This is directly investment related. They are saying, you said on some public forum that government is trying to speed up loan disbursement facility, and for a new setup of new company, loan can be processed very shortly. Can you just elaborate on this?
Actually, ease of business, either it is related with banking, with the administration. In Indian situation, there are some problems. Now, with our government, we have taken a lot of decision that is the reason that ease of business, our ranking number is now increased by World Bank. But at the same time, in the banking system, with your turnover, with your income tax return record, and your GST record, and if you are going to apply for the loan, there is one scheme that within 59 minutes, they can sanction your loan. But the problem was there that after sanctioning the loan, there was delay for disbursement. So again, I go into the details with the help of finance minister, and we are now making the scheme that there will be disbursement will be also at early as possible. We are taking lot of decisions regarding ease of business. So we are now, one important thing is, firstly for MSME schemes, only nationalized bank and SIDBI was the agencies, but now we have enlarged the canvas, and now the district cooperative bank, urban cooperative bank, multi-state cooperative bank, NBFCs, and private banks, commercial bank, government banks, and or SIDBI and all institutions now they can finance in our schemes. So the canvas is now enlarged. So my feeling is to get a loan for a good project. It's not a very difficult task. It can be easy. And suppose on your track record, in the area, in the country where you are, in that bank. On the basis of that, that bank may also give you some rating, or that bank will also give you some type of loan also in India. So you can find out that option, because that will, the interest cost will be less. Indian scenario, the interest cost is 9%, 10%. So somewhere it is 11%. So it is up to you to decide to take the loan with a cheaper interest, which can be possible for you.
Rahul, I think Dr. Sunil Mandrekar, GMBF Global President, wants to ask a question.
Yes.
Yeah, Sunil ji.
First of all, thank you, sir. Time. My question from so many Maharashtrian NRIs. The question is, what are the opportunities for NRIs in your Mihan project, and what special facilities you can give in Mihan project for the small and medium entrepreneurs?
Already we have got a lot of good projects in Mihan. Now the international airport is already sanctioned, and there is a Dassault, that French company is there who are making Falcon and Rafale fighter jet in Nagpur. Then we have this MRO, that also is there for maintaining of aircrafts for Airbus and Boeing both. Then we have got the TAL factory, that is from Tata. They are making 1200 parts of Boeing and Airbus. Then we have got all software company like SCL, Tech Mahindra, then Infosys, then TCS, all are in Nagpur. So there is a huge potential, and now we are planning making of bulk pharmaceutical manufacturing zone, and also we are trying for making of medical devices. Particularly in Visakhapatnam, we have one medical devices park, and now we are planning to start 6 to 8 parks in India, where they are making MRI with the cost of 98 lakhs rupees, because the MRI cost in market is 6 crore 50 lakhs. So a lot of new things, innovations in medical science is already improved. On the basis of that, you can make all type of medical devices, and we are now planning for making of this devices park in Nagpur also. So anywhere, if you are interested to start anything in Nagpur, please tell me, I will help you. And now it's a good situation. The residential accommodation is available. Nagpur is the green city. We have 48 engineering colleges. We have got AIM, AIMS, Symbiosis, all type of world-class universities we have. So here is a good opportunity. Now metro is work has already been it will completed within 6 months. The metro is really important for Nagpur. We are making a lot of airports is now. We are going to start the work of international airport as early as possible. So these are the positive and good things are here in Nagpur. Advantage Nagpur, it's really a great thing. I am a member of Parliament of Nagpur. So anytime you need any cooperation, please come to me. I will resolve your problem.
Thank you,
So
sir.
one way, on the one hand, crude oil prices are dropping down, and the opportunities are going down in the GCC countries. But other way, on the other hand, the opportunities are getting created in India. So first question, how Indian government is ready to grab this opportunity? And the second question is, as you know, oil and gas sector has a potential to give good amount of jobs to our Indian peoples who are coming back from GCC countries. So, and also for MSMEs to give a good business opportunity. So can you please guide more on that? What are the opportunities for MSMEs in the oil and gas sectors for upcoming refinery and petrochemical projects? And what are the employment, how our government is ready to grab these opportunities and provide employment to NRIs who are coming back from GCCs?
Actually, oil and natural gas sector is very important for the government of India. And we have got a lot of MSMEs are working good jobs. There is a huge potential is available. We have got now private companies. Now government has taken a decision. The company who have worth of 250 crores, they can start their own petroleum company. They can sell petrol, diesel and gas. And LNG is the future for the country. As a transport minister, already I am working on LNG and CNG. We are now I am trying for making India import substitute. So my idea is to making biodiesel, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-CNG, electric, and hydrogen fuel cell technology. So we are going to encourage this, and because our policy is import substitute, cost effective, pollution free, and indigenous. But at the same time, Indian scenario, lot of work of petroleum ministry, the private companies are there. Some of the companies are doing good jobs in particularly in the whole part of the world. So there is a huge potential is available. Anywhere, if you want to start something, you can come to India. But I feel that there is equally potential, particularly in the Gulf area. Still, there is a lot of demand for petroleum products. At least 10 to 10 years, there is no problem. This is my assessment. So, in coming back to India in place of that, you can make new innovation, new research there. Only you send your dollars to India. That can be a great strength to the country.
What's happening with Smart City project, and what is the status of Mumbai-Goa Expressway?
Mumbai-Goa Express Highway, some part of the highway is already in the, probably it will completed within a month. Some part there are some problems, but now the pending work was from Panvel to the first starting point of these two packages, there was a problem. They are also clear. And now I feel that within 6 to 8 months, we will get complete highway, 4-lane concrete road from Mumbai to Goa. Smart city projects are now in the many cities, they are already there. In Nagpur also one of the project is going on. But because of present time, the projects are facing some problem, but still it is sanctioned and the work is going on. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your guidance and thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Girish Panchi was also here. He himself is one-man organization, Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award winner. So, sir, we would like to hear a minute from yourself.
Minister, this is a wonderful speech in the Friday morning, and it's a very, energetic enthusiasm. Or again, I would like to thank to given an opportunity to interact with the minister and to listen their valuable points and speech. And thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Rahul ji and Girish Panji. Good morning, everyone. Namaskar. Myself, Dilawar Dalwai, Executive Committee member of GMBF Global Dubai. I'm sure you all have enjoyed very impressive and informative session by Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. We will definitely win this economic war. I would like to start by thanking you all business personalities who gave their valuable time here. Success of today's event would not have been possible without the efforts of all supporting businesses and social organizations here. Name few: GMBF Global Bahrain chapter, all Maharashtra Mandals from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Kuwait, Qatar, Marathi Mitra Mandal Muscat, Snehbandha Sohar Oman, Marathi Global Village Canada, Marathi Mandal Mauritius, Ami Parivar Group, and all. Last but not least, I would like to thank the entire GMBF Global team for organizing this event. Stay safe. Thank you.